Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's me, Vin Dadi. Please don't forget to click like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks. Hi guys, so I'll be replacing the front brake pads and rotors on this Mazda Tribute. So right here, I'm using a long nose vice grip plier to hold that clip down while I pry back on that part and give it a little tug at the same time, and it should come out like that. So you gotta be very careful with that, because one time I didn't use a bicycle plier, and I pried it out and it flew and almost hit me in the eye. So right here there's two plastic covers to access the back bolt for the Cali, but right now that's the bleeder screw. I will show you guys how to retract the piston on that caliper, which is a flathead screwdriver. So first you gotta open the bleeder screw like that. Grab yourself a flathead screwdriver, and then find a prying spot and then pull back, and you should see the brake fluid come out like that. So right now you're pushing that piston of the caliper back. This is a trick if you don't have a tool to use to push the piston back. This is actually pretty easy. So right there, once it's fully pushed back, there won't be any more brake fluid coming out. After that, let it drip for a few seconds so that all the air comes out again. So there's the plastic covers. That's just to keep the dust from going in, so that the caliper is nice and free. So that is the 11 and 32nd Allen key. So that's like a bolt. It also acts like a pin or an anchor, so that the caliper slides back and forth. There you go. Yeah, there's still a little bit of a brake pad there, but the customer was complaining of the brakes, and there was a slight brake shudder when you're braking. And as I found out later on, that the rotor had like deep marks on it, like the brake pad had some hard spots, so it was wearing a little deeper on parts of the rotor. You will see it after I will show you guys. So right here the rotor is seized to the hub, so I will be trying to hammer it out. I will show you guys how to prevent this later on, so that it won't happen again. So right here, guys, we're gonna be cleaning that hub slightly. Give it a little bit of a brush. And I will be putting anti-seize compound on that hub. Like that, so it will prevent the new rotor that I'm gonna put in there to stick to that hub again. That's just the way how I like to do it. I mean, everyone's different. So right here you see the rotor right there. There's like a little gouge like right in the middle, and that's probably causing that slight vibration slash shudder when you're braking. As you can see, there's still about 3 to 4 millimeters of brake pads. So it was getting down, but it didn't need to. But the customer wanted to replace it anyways. Also, the oil was actually not too bad on this. As I told the customer also that the oil didn't look too bad. The time was due, but the mileage wasn't due. But he said to change the oil anyways, so I did that. As you guys can see, the oil doesn't look that bad at all. Like, it's not dark. So right here I'm removing the oil filter, and it's gonna be taking a pH 160 fram for the oil filter. It's actually pretty easy access to the oil filter. It gets a little messy that area though, so make sure you spray it with a good amount of brake clean to clean it up. So there's the washer fluid bottle, there's the engine coolant bottle, there's the oil filler. Takes 5W20. There's your battery. It's fairly new. There's your transmission dipstick. There's your brake fluid reservoir, and here's your air filter. So 4 tabs right there. You just slip up, and there's your air filter. Fairly easy, really easy. So line them all up, and then push the tab back down, and you're good to go. This one took 6 liters of 5W20. Once again, guys, you can always put 5 in first and then check the dipstick and then go from there. So right here I'm putting the new rotors back in. Rotor, brake disc, whichever you want to call it. So I'm just securing it in place for ease of installation. So there's the new brake pads. So right here I'm just putting this lubricant, and this prevents it from brake squeal. It prevents brake squeal, brake shudder, and noises, because it's a metal to metal contact on the back of that to the piston. So yeah, it sort of absorbs the noise. I'm gonna give this caliper bracket a little bit of a clean. remove some dirt. Good spray of brake clean. So that's 18mm half-inch socket on that, by the way, for the caliper bolts bracket. Once again, I'm putting some of that because that will be sitting where the bracket is and it'll be metal to metal there, so there you go. That should prevent noise. Sometimes it'll make those clicking noise if you put that dry, and then when you step on the brake it will make a clicking noise. That lubricant is also high heat, so as you guys know, brakes get hot. So right here, that pin, the sliding pin slash bolt, I just took it over to the wire wheel and just give it a little bit of a buff and get rid of some of the dirt and grime that's built up in there, so it'll be a smoother surface for the caliper to glide on. I will also be lubing it up with some Seal Glide. Oh yeah, don't forget eyeglasses when you're doing that. So right here I will be putting that Seal Glide as I was saying, and this also helps with, you know, easier sliding of the caliper back and forth. It doesn't have to be a lot, just enough so it covers the surface, and yeah. So this step right here, guys, I opted on using my electric ratchet to put those bolts back on. But if you're not comfortable with that, because you might cross thread it if you're not careful, so you could just use like a hand ratchet to tighten that. So right there, guys, you will feel it once it starts going in, and then I usually tighten it by hand afterwards, just so it's more, you know that it's tight. Once again, I just did it by feel, but if you're not comfortable with that, then you can always search for the torque spec. Again, contact points for the metal to metal, I lube it up. And so right here, there's a little trick that I usually do. I use a little pry bar, that flathead screwdriver again, and then pry it back, and then it should snap back in place, and then I'm gonna go to the front and push it back to hook it in place. Right there. You'll know what I mean when you're doing it. Check if it's free, and there you go, it's moving side to side. So that's all done for the brakes. What's left to do is I gotta bleed the system. Bleed the system means, guys, because when I pried those back, there could still be a little bit of air trapped inside that caliper. So either you guys, if you're by yourself, gravity bleed it for a little bit longer. But right here, I'm gonna get my coworker to help me bleed this quicker. So I'm gonna get him to go inside the vehicle and pump the brakes, and then once he holds, I will open the bleeder and then brake fluid will come out. So there he is, and then he's pumping the brakes right now, and then he will hold and I'm gonna open the bleeder, the brake fluid will come out. So once that comes out, the air should come out if there's any. Then I'm gonna close it up and I'm gonna tell him to pump it up again. And then once he holds, so he's putting pressure, I open up again and then it'll just sink and then close it back up. If you don't see any air coming out, then you should be good and move on to the other side. But if you're by yourself, like I said, go pump up the brakes till it's till the piston is fully out, and then just let it bleed for 5-10 minutes. But don't, make sure that you keep an eye on that brake fluid reservoir. You don't want to let that empty or dry up, because you cause more problems if there'll be more air in the system than you started with. So right here, I'm just putting the tires back on. So I have a torque stick there. I usually use 110. It's more than enough, and it's not really too much either. It's an SUV. So that concludes the brake pad replacement, front brake pads and oil change, guys. I'll see you on the road. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Vin Dadi. So right here we have a 2009 Mazda Tribute. I just changed the oil on this, and I did front brakes and mounted and balanced the summer tires. So right now I'm just taking it for a road test. Make sure that the brakes are good, because I just replaced them, and I also gotta break it into the rotor. So I gotta make sure I do some stop and goes from 0 to 60, so that the brake pads will seat to the rotors, so it won't make noise or squeals. So we're just in our normal road test area right now, and as you guys know, I'm gonna be showing you guys what this Mazda Tribute looks like. Oh, look at that. They put like a reverse cam in there. It's like an aftermarket. Anyways, let me just show it to you guys quickly. Alright guys, so as you guys saw earlier, the tire light was on because I just mounted and balanced the tires, and usually the tire light will go off after driving it, and sure enough it did. So I'm just gonna take it for a longer test drive right now and break in the pads to the rotor a little bit more. So once again guys, thank you guys for tuning into my channel. Thank you for your support. Please continue to like and subscribe and share. Highly appreciated. Big shout out to Team Lamion. Mega shout out Team Lamion. Also Team Legends, mega shout out to you guys. Team Ngao Ngao, mega shout out to you guys. The V Nation, mega shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for all your support. This truck's moving way too slow. Oh, come on now. A helicopter over there. This is a pretty nice park right here. So this is the Mazda Tribute. It's like a Ford Escape, pretty much. Put an aftermarket stereo in there. So these are pretty big houses here guys on the right side. Ganda ng mga bahay. Look at those trees. Tingnan mo yung, look at their fence guys. It's like bushes trimmed. So neat. This is like a dog park. Those trees are like cherry blossom. Can this guy go any slower? Alright, let's cut that guy off. There we go. Yeah, so you want to do some brake stop and goes. Just break the pad to the rotor in. So once again guys, thank you for tuning into my channel. Please continue to support my channel. Click like and subscribe. Thank you for watching and I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.